One more thing. I get this all the time now. Now that some of you have figured out how to use Zoom, you think that everything should be a Zoom call. Don't aggravate me, all right? Don't you dare call me and say, Mike, I want to talk to you 5 minutes, and I'm going to set up a Zoom call. Jennifer is probably laughing right now because I'll go right back and say, I don't want to Zoom with you. If you want to call me for 5 minutes, just call me. But I don't need all of the logistics that I've got to worry about of the link not working, and you got to send me another one, and now we're 10 minutes over, and I haven't even spoken to you yet, and you're trying to figure. I've had this happen just within the last few days where someone wanted to set up a Zoom call. I really didn't want it. I wanted a phone call. And now, after the time started, their link didn't work, and I send them an email. And we go, Mike, I'm trying to get this thing. Let me send you a fresh link. Come on. You don't need to use the fancy technology if you're trying to have a phone call, all right? So don't get crazy. The fact that you've used Zoom does not mean Zoom is the solution for every time you want to talk to someone. So use it, as Jennifer put on the slide, don't complicate it. All right. Well, we've learned, particularly over the last 6 months, that some of you aren't even invited for the tour. They're saying, how about this? Make a presentation to us, but I don't want you coming to our office, and I'm certainly not coming to your office, but we want a listing presentation. Well, we don't want you making a listing presentation, with just a phone call. So, Tim.
Now, we got a lot of great ground to cover, and I want to make sure we leave enough time for Mike and his showstoppers, because ultimately this is about the content of the presentation, but I do want to cover some technological aspects of it fairly quickly and give you some do's and don'ts. The question is, why am I doing this section? Because as I work with individuals all over North America, every one of these systems, with one exception, I'm using every week. So I want to give you some tips and tricks of things that I've learned, just because, today I've used 3 different video. By the time the day is over, I will have been on 3 different video conferencing solutions today between various clients. This first one we want to talk about, though, is about helping you create momentum as you're scheduling this and we're working in an increasingly remote environment. And that is, we want you to consider one of the calendaring solutions that allows clients to automatically get on your schedule. Like Mike said, don't overcomplicate it. If you need just a one-on-one solution, quite frankly, you could do that on Teams if you needed to. So you want to make sure that you're not adding a lot of bells and whistles that you don't need, because that's just more that can go wrong during the webinar. We do highly suggest that wherever possible, you use a phone line. And I know that a lot of the phones that many of you have right now are actually VoIP phones. My phone is a VoIP phone. But here's the reason why we like to separate the audio. Separating the audio gives you a backup. I've had times when I've been doing virtual presentations where this video feed via my computer, which right now is hooked up via Wi-Fi, has gone down, but my VoIP line has actually stayed on. So they don't lose you completely. Whereas if all your eggs are in the computer basket, if one thing goes down, pretty much everything has gone down.